at Cynic Glory Fam on Twitter. We're broadcasting on Facebook, and we're also broadcasting on our YouTube channel. So, hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, I'm wearing my Women's History Month t-shirt. It says, well-behaved women seldom makes history. Um, so, in honor of Women's History Month, and I am a firm believer in that sometimes you have to go against the grain, to make a difference, and to make an impact. So I want to welcome my guests who are joining me today. Today we're going to have a conversation around natural hair. So I invited my girlfriends from around the globe to join us. And let me hit that. Hey, Vanessa.
Hi, everyone.
How
Nice
you
to
doing?
meet you.
So I invited my girlfriends from around the globe to join me and have a conversation for International Women's Day and Women's History Month related to our natural hair journey. I think everybody on here I connected through my natural hair journey, except Melissa. Melissa, I connected with her through my brand strategypreneur and my organization Divine Event. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves. So we'll start with Terry. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Terry.
Greetings, everyone. So my name is Terry K. I go by Terry Tuku on social media. I am born and raised in the island of Bermuda, and I am actually back on the island of Bermuda. I spent 7 years in Atlanta, Georgia, where I studied at Spelman College and Georgia State University. I am probably a tech nerd. I'm a nerd's nerd. I love to read books. I actually work in IT full time at the moment. That's what my master's degree is actually in. I returned natural back in 2012, which is when I graduated from college. And I know we'll probably get more into our individual natural hair stories during this conversation, but that was probably a pivotal moment for me. As you may be able to tell, I'm now locked. So we'll definitely get into that part of the conversation as well. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this panel. And I do want to give a shout out to every woman that is watching and every son of a woman, because we all came from women.
Yes. Okay, Vanessa, can you introduce yourself? Thank you, Terry.
Hi, so my name is Vanessa. I'm from Montreal, Canada. As a woman, I wear lots of hats. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an HR professional, I'm a university student. I'm also an entrepreneur. My brand name is Curly Fro. It's natural hair products, which to me it was an unexpected baby. That started in 2009, and we started selling and advertising our products back in 2015. And like you said, we will be able to discuss a little bit more about that. But I created this brand because I had no idea how to take care of my hair. So when I knew I was pregnant with a baby girl, I said, you know what? It's time for me to learn more about how to take care of hair, and this is how it all started.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Miss Melissa, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, beautiful ladies on the panel here and all of you guys watching. My name is Melissa Jane. As you may pick up from the accent, I am from England, Birmingham, England, but I now live in South Florida. Yay for the sun. I I started my natural hair journey about 3 years ago after having it relaxed ever since I was 17 years old. And the reason why I went natural was because I was wearing a ponytail with a clip-in, the clip-in ponytails for the longest time, to the point where my hair was really breaking off. But
No.
it's been an interesting journey. We're going to get into that. But my background is in IT, similar to our queen on the panel. 30 years in IT, cybersecurity, intranets, collaboration tools, you name it, help desk, service desk, all of that kind of stuff. And I consider myself pretty much a geek, and I love being a geek. I love technology, which has led me to start my own business, which is in training, teaching people how to, simplify the technology so that they can get on and do their work, especially with digital marketing. So that's a bit of a background about me. And thank you, Tonya, for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for agreeing. And one thing I do got to give you guys a shout out, because one thing I can say about my trial, when I ask, everybody always say yes. So I just want to thank you, ladies, for saying yes and being so supportive and showing me love by joining me today for this conversation. So now, moving on to the first topic that I wanted to cover. Um, why did you choose to? I always say return to natural if you haven't been natural all your life. So what was that thing, that moment that made you say, okay, it's time for a shift, it's time for a change? So we start with Terry. What was that for you, Terry?
So as I mentioned earlier, I returned natural in 2012. So it was my graduation year from Spelman College, and I got my last relaxer for my graduation. And I remember just thinking, like, I think during that time, natural hair in Atlanta specifically was like really a big deal, and I just remember feeling like this idea of my definition of beauty, I hadn't really defined it, and it was very much defined by the European style of straight hair, and it has to be well kept. And so for me, it was definitely just wanted, like, it was slightly rebellious, because I was living on my own. I graduated college, 21, 22, no parents to kind of tell you can't do that. And I remember when I did return natural, and my mom found out, like, all right, she didn't really find out, I told her, and she was like, well, how are you going to get a job? She was thinking I was going to return back to Bermuda, and I was just like, well, they don't hire me because of my hair. That's stupid. That's their loss, not mine. And that kind of just reminded me as to why I was doing it. I had to feel comfortable in my own hair. I had to feel like, beautiful. I had to feel like my hair didn't define me, that when I showed up in the room, it would be how I speak, what I speak about, how smart I am and what I bring to the table. That should be the focus. And my hair shouldn't distract anyone. It shouldn't be something that another person uses to kind of keep me back or hold me down. So I definitely returned natural for my own personal journey, and just feeling very confident. Self-confidence was probably the biggest thing for me when I did return natural.
Okay. Vanessa, what was your reason?
Well, listen, I was never good with my hair. My hands and my hair doesn't go together. When I was a teenager, I was 15 when I first put perm on my hair, and without my mother's knowledge. And when I returned home, it was the entire story, and all the family was like upset, frustrated, because not only I put perm on my hair, but they cut my hair on top of it all because they say I had breakage and everything. So my mother was very, very, very upset. But I was 15. I did it on my own. I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep and take care of it. I would say I kept perm on my hair for 10 years until I got pregnant. Once I got pregnant, I knew the chemical effect were not good for my baby, because that's what I was told. So I stopped. The second I knew I was pregnant, I stopped wearing perm. And that's when I started getting interest, because I knew I was pregnant with a baby girl. And the perm, to be honest, was not the most nice things for my hair, because I have thin hair, So with the perm, the first 2-3 days, it was really nice. And after like 4 or 5 days, my hair started being flat and I didn't like it. And growing up, you learn and you understand more things about your natural hair. So the moment I knew I was pregnant, I stopped. I start learning about how to take care of my curly hair and what are the ingredients. And when I knew I had a baby girl, well, that's when it all started. Not only I wanted to know how to take care of my hair, but I wanted to be able to transfer all this knowledge to my daughter, which she's now 16, and it's amazing. Now she takes care of her own hair, and I mean, that's the best thing I could have done. So that's my most reason why I returned back to my natural roots.
Okay. And Melissa, what was your moment?
The moment I realized I needed to go natural was, first of all, the fact that my hair was breaking so badly, and I literally had to cut it because it was like there was almost like a big bald patch right in the middle. And I've always had thick, strong hair, and I knew that I was damaging it so badly. But what I realized was it was becoming a little bit more popular. I saw women on TV, in media, out and about, wearing natural hair. I was associating with a lot more women that were carrying their natural hair and being proud of it. And I thought, you know what, I think I can do this. Even though I was not really a big fan of natural hair, to be honest with you, but I said, I think I can do it. I know it's going to be a struggle for me because I do like, I'm a kind of very, I don't know, corporate type, straight laced. And
Right.
I like, as you can see by my hair right now, I like my hair to be in place. I don't like my hair to be sort of like out and, so I knew it was going to be a struggle, but I decided, you know what, it's time. My older sister has never relaxed her hair ever. And I said, you know what, if she can do it, I can catch up. I can try it. And I just learned from all my sisters who have done it and who are proud of their hair. If they can do it, why can't I? So I said, you know what, it's time. It's time. And I'm glad I did, but I still do have challenges. If I want to be honest, I still do have challenges.
Yeah. 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 And for me, I end up having a very bad salon experience where the stylist had put the perm relaxer in my hair, and she had left it too long, and I kept saying, my scalp is burning. Oh, you be okay? And I was like, no, my scalp is burning. And when she took the perm out, also I lost hair. So I experienced hair loss. And I was like, you know what? This is not worth it. I'm not putting myself through this anymore, and especially during that time. I know the salon experience has gotten better, but you would be there all day. It was an all day. It was an all day commitment. And I was like, you know what? This is not worth. I could be doing better things with my time, and then risking, like Vanessa said, the health risk of perming your hair and then experiencing hair loss. And guys, just recently, and that was in 2001, just recently, my scalp has healed from that. And I just started getting peach fuzz in that area, where I lost that hair. So it took that amount of time for my scalp, to heal and restore itself to where hair would grow there again. So, yeah. So it just wasn't worth it. So that was my experience. It was a negative experience. But kind of like what Vanessa said, because of that experience, none of my daughters were interested, except my youngest one. But none of my daughters was interested in getting a perm, except my youngest one. She probably did it for maybe 6 months and said, forget this. This is just this is just too much. And she was like, nah, I pass. So yeah. So that's what my experience was and why I chose to go natural. So let's move on to our next question. I'm interested to see what you guys are going to say because I know how I connected with everybody relating to this question. But how has being natural impacted your life for you? So I'm going to go to Terry.
Um, Interesting question. I think for me, it definitely allowed me, like I mentioned earlier, to be more confident, but it also allowed me to kind of connect with women in a different way. I think when I was younger, I'm very much a tomboy. Like I mentioned, I like technology, so I was definitely into a lot of logic and science, and just the way I think is very like straight to the point. There's very little fluff in the middle. And sometimes when you're having conversations with women, they do want a little bit more empathy. They want you to kind of like, they want a relatable conversation. And I really didn't have those conversations in my younger days. And so into college, I realized, okay, like, I went to an all girls school. So I was around women all day, every day. And so I had to like, really figure out how to have meaningful relationships with, my sisters that I went to Spelman with, and then just outside of that, going into my first, full-time job. And it became a conversation starter, and that kind of broke the ice and made it a little bit easier to just like, have conversations where we start to talk about like, what products are you using, how did you get your hair to, curl like that, and what's your wash day like, are you ever going to cut it, what about color, like, so it started to kind of open me up to having way more conversations with people that I probably wouldn't normally have. And it also made me feel comfortable giving compliments, because I also kind of struggle, and I think that most women do struggle with giving like authentic compliments to other women without kind of coming across as shallow or just trying to like make a friend for no real reason other than to be nice. And I was able to like, I really like your hair, I really like this color, I like how you did this style, and really mean it. Because that was definitely a challenge for me in the beginning, because like, if we all had a straight hair, it's kind of like, do you like my hair, or do you like that I look well kept? So for me, it definitely allowed me to just have more meaningful relationships with other women without feeling like I was being inauthentic.
Okay. And Terry didn't share this part, though I'm gonna go ahead and share it. The way that I connected with Terry is that her natural hair journey also led her to create a media platform for natural hair women, where she had contributing writers, and I was one of the writers for her platform. So that's how we connected. And thank you, Terry, for that opportunity and introducing me to that, because I've learned that writing is now a passion of mine, and I just want to thank you for introducing me to that creative side of me. So
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I did, because I don't do too much with Dear Girlfriend anymore, but it is still there. It is still something that I do love, because as I mentioned, I'm locked now, so I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to do the Dear Girlfriend when I'm a locked girlfriend. But it's definitely something that I also kind of came into a passion about through the journey. I think one of the things that we kind of get caught up on is returning natural is like, it can sometimes like other people can kind of come into your journey and kind of make it their journey. And so with Dear Girlfriend, it's kind of like a letter to, your friend who's a girlfriend, hey, like, I know what you're going through. I've been through it as well. Here's what worked for me. Here's what didn't work for me. And it just kind of, it builds on that community, which I feel like as women, when we return natural, that's the one thing you need, because other people out there are gonna try their best to kind of maybe steer you away from whatever reason you got to for returning natural. So I didn't forget about their girlfriend, but it's definitely not top of mind anymore. But we'll come back thanks to this conversation.
okay, Vanessa, how has
Well,
being natural impacted you?
well, as far as I'm concerned, I returned back natural in 2004. So it's been a long time ago. We didn't have that at that time, the platforms that we have for the past decade, such as YouTube, such as Instagram. You see it all over the place. I didn't have that, but I was doing it for health reasons. And just to see that friends around me, family members around me decided to switch with me and are still natural today made the entire difference. And to me, that was the biggest impact that I could have make. I'm thinking about my sister. I'm thinking about my cousins. I'm thinking about friends who have relaxed their hair for so many years. And because I decided to do it and say, you know what, I'm going to stick to it. And I returned natural because my now husband loved my hair natural. So he encouraged me and I did it. And to see after a few years, other people just follow through. And now I see it all over the place. I mean, I'm excited about it. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen for the next generation because we see it more and more. So that's the impact that I believe that I had for people around me.
Right. And would you also say that it influenced you to create your brand?
It all began because, like I said earlier, I did not know how to care for my own hair. And when I'm trying to find solution for something, I go all the way through. When I started making products, it's trials and error. Again, I didn't have all the tools, all the information that I have today when I started. But the fact that I was doing it for me and for my daughter and having like a crowd of people around me who just encourage me and purchase my products and purchase my products for other people. And when you see that people are coming back, I need more, I want more. Like I said, it was an unexpected baby. Curly Fro was really an unexpected baby. But when people are coming back asking you, can I have more? Can I have more of your shampoo? Can I have more of your butter? You're like, I mean, maybe I do have something, and I did have fun. I still have having fun making my products. It's still a ear to mouth business, but I'm trying to push it a little bit further to put it, for everybody to see, for everybody to try, for everybody to buy, but everybody to use. But at this point, I mean, I would say this is one of the reasons why I pushed it more than just being natural, but creating my brand.
Okay. Okay, Melissa, how has being natural impacted your life?
That's an interesting question. How's it impacted my life? I mean,
You met me.
yeah, well, I met some really great people. I mean, I met you. I met the other curlkin. What's her name? Samiko.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a month-long workshop with Samiko to try to really learn how to care for my hair. Because I must admit, I still don't think that I know enough about caring for my hair. Even now, after 3 years, when I first went natural, I was trying to use every product that was out there, and I just could not get the texture and the feel that I wanted.
Yeah.
And
I know. We all been there.
and you know what? In the end, I resorted to going back to good old hair grease. And I got to tell you, this works for me. This is working for me, and it's like $2 or $3 or whatever. But I just could not get the feel and the texture that I want. And maybe it's just a thing from trying to go back to when I was a kid and the feeling that my hair felt like then.
Right.
And that's what I use. So, but it's been a journey. Some days I hate it. Some days I'm like, oh, I'm so proud. I'm like, I got natural and it's thick and it's, but it's a roller coaster. But
Right.
I do associate now with a lot of people who have natural hair. In South Florida here, when I used to do my show before I changed the format, I would promote a lot of events. And I would go to all of these different events, a lot of hair shows, a lot of, things where groups of women would get together and share their experiences and do the hairstyles. And So I got, I got into it, and I was like, you know what? So I think to kind of sum that up, how has it impacted my life? I think it's just opened up my mind more to accepting it, because it was a long time that I said, I want to have long, straight hair. And to be honest with you, I got to be straight up with you. I got to be straight. My hair is, it's been 3 years now. My hair is getting good, is getting to a good length. And I had a silk press done about 2 years ago. I'm looking forward to doing another silk press just to flow it, just to shake it. I'm just being straight, man. I'm just exactly. But it'll just be like once a year I'll do that, and you'll see the pictures.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures, Melissa. Yeah, because for me, I used to do mine at least once a year. I hadn't done it in a while, in a few years now, just to get an assessment of what my length truly was. Because the shrinkage is real, and so just to get a true sense of what the length truly was, I used to do that as well. So yeah, we definitely, all of us up here know exactly what you're talking about, Melissa. We've all been there and done that.
I'm still a newbie, a young'un in the journey, right?
Yeah. For me, this natural hair journey has definitely been a catalyst for so many things in my life. I think initially the first thing that it impacted was my perspective and my perception of my health. Because I became more conscientious of what I put on my hair and how I cared for my hair, I also became more conscientious of what I ate, and what I put in my body. So that was the first initial impact that it had. And then from there, it really opened a door for me to build a network with other people within the natural hair community, which is how I met you ladies. And from there, I also catapult my brand, my hair accessory brand, because, like Vanessa said, I had a need and I could not find someone or a retailer that met that need. So I just created my own solution, and other people liked my solution, and other people had the same need, like Vanessa said, and they just kept coming back. It wasn't planned or anything like that, but people just kept coming back and just asking for more. So that's the impact choosing to go natural and my natural hair journey has had on my life. And Melissa, you're doing like a healthcare thing right now too, right?
You're following that, huh?
Yes, I saw it. Well, you have lost 20 pounds.
Yes, over last year it was COVID, and the ice cream and the potato chips and all of that, comfort stuff just to get us through. And I put on about 20 pounds, and so at the beginning of the year, I decided let's work on that. Let's get rid of that. And so beginning of the year, and there's a group that I'm a member of. It's called The Doctor in You. And it's just a community of people, not just women, but people who are just encouraging each other. And I needed accountability, So I said, you know what? On the 1st of January, I put in there that I'm on my 90-day journey, because I need to be accountable. So I'll keep it going. Then after 90 days, I'm going to do the same again, and just so that I can have people know what I'm doing. And I've just stuck to a really healthy diet. A lot of water, a lot of fruits and vegetables. Nothing really weird or strange, Just getting my walking in, and it comes off. And I've done it a couple of times. That's why I know what to do. But that's dangerous because I know what to do. It's a little bit dangerous because in the summer I said, oh yeah, I'll do that later on, and it just piled itself on. So
Yeah, be sure to follow Terry, Melissa. Terry has some delicious and yummy vegan recipes that she share on her Instagram. Yeah.
but Tanya, you're talking about hair all this time, and we can't see your hair.
I know. Can y'all see me?
Now we can,
Yeah, Melissa, I'm gonna have to get you to help me with my banner because my banner is covering up my hair.
Right.
I'm gonna get you to help me scale it a little bit better so you can still see my hair.
All right.
Techie. Okay, next, our last question is, what do you like most about your natural hair? Going to Terry.
I would say what I love about my natural hair is the freedom. And I know that's kind of weird because now I'm locked, so I don't have as much freedom. But I will say when I was loose natural, I did love, just the feeling of my hair. And to Melissa's point, it did take me a while to know my hair. And I was living in Atlanta, and Atlanta doesn't have as much humidity as being here in Bermuda. And so when I returned back to Bermuda, I had to relearn my hair because some of the things that I did in Atlanta, because, it didn't have humidity, but it did have cooler days. And so some of the things that worked for that climate did not work in Bermuda. And I got frustrated. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. This used to work. I could do a twist out and it would be great, and do a twist out of the humidity and it's not gonna last. And so I definitely did love the freedom with my locked hair. What I do love is that I am learning to be more patient. Right now it needs to be retwisted. But there's a different kind of journey because you did mention shrinkage before, and all natural hair has shrinkage. It doesn't, all curl pattern natural hair, because straight hair doesn't have as much shrinkage. But I definitely dealt with shrinkage when I was loose, and I'm dealing with the same kind of shrinkage now, but it's because my hair it's trying to lock together. And so I'm sitting here a year into this lock game, and I'm like, I can see the growth looking back when I started, but I'm like, to Melissa's point, I do remember when I was loose, I couldn't wait to get a flat press, just go ahead and just do a little, let the wind take it. I just want to feel the wind. I want to do that flip. Right? When a boy's talking to me, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can play my hair. I can't do that right now. I can play my locks. But I would definitely say I do just love that I've learned to love me more with my natural hair. I can say that for sure, because I've had to get to know my hair in different climates, different stages in its journey and in my journey. And to Melissa's point as well around food, just getting to know what types of foods work for me, and just knowing what's going to work for me, and everyone's different. And I think what did a disservice early in the natural hair game was that everyone was watching a lot of these superstars and thinking that would work for them. And so I think from my personal journey, I found that I just had to find what works for me and just love what works for me, because it's not going to work for other people. But being open and honest about that is important, because I feel like if we're not having these conversations, being open and saying hey, I actually don't always like my natural hair. And that's a real feeling, because some days I'd be going out wow, this hair it's not laying the way it laid yesterday. Yesterday it was doing its thing and today it's not. And I'm just not feeling it, but right. I got to show up. So I definitely have learned to love me more. And I think that's probably one of my biggest takeaways and one of the things that I really, really love about my journey.
Okay. Move on to Vanessa. What do you love about your natural hair?
It's versatility. There's so many things that I can do with my hair. I'm not I don't like to put heat on my hair, so I don't flat iron or anything like that. I try to do everything with any tools that I can find. But listen, you can put it on the ponytail, you can twist out, you could flat iron, you can put it up. there's always volume. There's always volume. Whatever you do with your curly hair, there's always volume. It's like, even if you have thinner hair and it's curly, you always have like a lot of hair, as opposed to relaxing your hair. The other things that I like is that I'm not scared of the rain anymore. So whenever I have to run out the street and it's raining, I mean, I'm natural. It's just going to get curly and that's it. I go home and I dry it up and that's it. I don't need to go to the salon and have my hair redone because, it's relaxed. But its versatility, is one of the things that I love the most. And just like you said, Terry, the natural hair process is a lifetime process, because while every period in your life you'll have to change something or you have to adjust to something about your hair. So getting to learn, you will know what your hair needs along the way. So even if I don't know, if you are in a stressful situation, your hair will react a certain way, you will know what to do with it. If you are happy or if you are in humidity, or if you will find how to take care of your hair. And this is something that I appreciate, that I could do it myself. Yeah.
Melissa, what do you love about your natural hair?
I do love the fact that it's healthy now and it's growing, and it's back to its sort of original state of being just thick and as we say in the Caribbean, enough. It's enough. It's plenty, and I guess, what do I love about being natural? That's it. I love the fact that it's healthy, it's strong. I don't really experiment too much with different styles because I'm always so busy. I just want to just do a quick style that I can do within 5 or 10 minutes and be gone. And I just discovered this style and I'm like, okay, this is quick and it works. So until I find something else that's quick for me, I need help in that area. I'm gonna lie.
And one of my mottos though is healthy hair is good hair. And that's one of the things I've always promoted and encouraged people to make sure that their hair is healthy, because that's the most important thing, as far as caring for any hair, whether it is whether your hair is relaxed, permed, or whatever. Just make sure your hair is healthy. And I think I'm gonna have to agree with you guys as far as what I like. I like the versatility, but much like Melissa, I only wear a few styles. I don't experiment with a lot of different styles and a lot of different style options. Probably, I would say 80% of the time, my hair is in some type of protective style. We got a comment. Emma said that she loved natural hair. It's beautiful and it makes her feel closer to her true self. Yes. And just knowing, yeah. Okay, that's one of your friends, Melissa. Yeah, just being, I guess, like Emma said, just being closer to who you truly are, who you are genuinely, is another thing that I like about it, because you just embrace, and I think Terry addressed this too. You just embrace your true and authentic self, and embrace your hair the way it grows out of your head. Now I think I'm older than everybody on this panel, so now I'm experiencing some hormonal issues. And I'm experiencing some thinning with premenopause and things like that. So it's like, as you change, your hair changes. So I'm trying to figure things out all over again. It's like I'm just starting all over again with my natural hair journey, because what once worked isn't working anymore because of the hormonal change, because of the hormonal shift that I'm going through right now. So yeah, I don't think Melissa said it. It's a roller coaster. It's definitely a roller coaster journey, because once you feel like you got it figured out and you got that regimen and that routine down pat, then something happens and something shifts and something changes. And that's life though, when you think about it. We all have stressful experiences, stressful situations. And because our hair is a part of our body, it's going to be impacted by those situations and by those circumstances. So just like we adjust, um, we have to adjust how we care for our hair as well. So, but thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. So I'm gonna wrap up this conversation and let everybody share where our audience can find you on social media. You can share your websites. If you have any promotions going on, feel free to share any promotions that you may currently have. So I'm gonna go to Terry. Where can we find you, Terry?
You can find me on Instagram. The handle is Terry Too Cool. That's TERRI, the number 2KOOL. The link in my bio there will take you everywhere else you need to go. But definitely connect with me on Instagram. And if you would like to see Dear Girlfriend come back, do, slide in my DMs and let me know, because I stopped it just because I transitioned my focus personally. But I do know that there is definitely a need for that out there. So if you're interested in, check out the Dear Girlfriend page. It's at Dear Girlfriend. And if you like what you see over there, send me a little DM to encourage me to kind of get back there. I will be super excited to connect with anyone that is watching this live tonight. It's been a pleasure and an honor, and I am super grateful to Tonya for inviting me on this.
Yeah, and Terry is also one of my Clubhouse buddies. So if you on Clubhouse, definitely follow Terry. Terry was the one that let me in. She gave me the invite.
I did.
She let me in the Clubhouse, so definitely follow her on Clubhouse as well. Okay, Vanessa, where can our audience find you?
Well, you can find me mostly on Instagram as well. My handle name is Curly Fro World. So I'm also on Facebook. Curlyfro.com is my name on Facebook. I also have a website, as I told you throughout this conversation. I have a product line, so you can find my products on www.curlyfro.com. But most of the time, I'm going to be on Instagram trying to make it happen. And I just want to thank you again, Tonya. You're my pal. You're my girl. You're my sister. I love you. Thank you for bringing me in again to one of your table. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for all the listeners as well who have been here or will be catching it up later on this week.
Yeah, and Melissa, definitely check out Vanessa's YouTube channel. She be showing some styles, styling options on her YouTube. Now your YouTube is Curly Fro too, right?
Curly Fro VAN space Curly Fro World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Melissa, where can our audience find you?
Hey again, my name is Melissa Jane, and I am your friendly digital marketing strategist. That's usually my line. And you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. I have a website, which is melissajane.com. And as a matter of fact, if you go to the website and click on the third button down, you'll see a whole bunch of things. I have some freebies there, and I do courses and trainings in video confidence, graphic design, all sorts of things. So people can check those out. And I have a few free ebooks. But I also have a show every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And I would love to connect with you ladies and include you and have you as a guest on in some future in a future episode. Tonya has been on my show as well. And again, thank you, Tonya, for having me as a guest on your platform tonight, as well as giving me opportunities to present in your private group. So it's nice just to meet you, ladies, and let us connect. My show is called Business Connections, and I love to connect with other businesses.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alma, for joining in.
Yeah, and I was gonna also add, and she added it, but I'm go a little bit farther. She has shared in my Facebook group, Digital Marketing on a Budget, because a lot of people is like, you let other people share in your group, of course. Of course, because it by no means do I feel like I know everything, even though our target audience is the same. Both of us are digital marketing, but I'm kind of the why and what, and my is the how to get. I tell you what you need to do, and Melissa gonna tell you how to do it. She will get you in line. She will get you straight when it comes to any type of marketing, whether it's video. Like I said, she got my video right, and I appreciate that. I've taken her courses. Very easy to do, very easy to follow. I highly recommend her courses. I love her courses. So thank you all ladies for joining. Where you can find me, I almost forgot. Our handle is the same across the board. You can find us at Accent and Glory. We're on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and our natural hair community is Accent and Glory Natural. So if anybody wants to join our natural hair community, it's called Accent and Glory Naturals. We host events like this. Like Vanessa said, this is our second event. We have hosted in the group, just to share with our community about natural hair and how to care and love your natural hair. But ladies, have a great night and take care. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.